Forgot I left off on the screen. Anyway, important question, go for it. Clearly I've got to finish this before I can actually do any shenanigans. Already finished the story mode. Already finished the story mode, I will not be doing more story mode. If I do that, there will forever be a... Okay, we're doing that. We're making an H. After I finish table turf, then I will do some form of other shenanigan. I am not good at table turf. I just feel like that has to be acknowledged. Kind of just looks like someone's giving the finger. Shoulders rolling. Okay, let's screw this baby jelly. Stretch 1, stretch 2. Yep. Most of the rewards are going, hey, take care of yourself, and some of them are loud noises. Because loud noises make me laugh. We're both doing special attacks to screw them. Okay. Maybe better off doing the corner over here to build a bit more special. Yeah. Screw you! Okay, maybe I can still win, maybe. think that's the best combo I'm going to get, so I can only really win if Baby Jelly passes. If Baby Jelly is not going to pass. And I lost. I lose to the Baby Jelly. Again. Right, let's go do some actual turf. Or something. I like that it doesn't include how many losses you have. I only started playing table turf yesterday, and today on my lunch break at work, I learned that if you tie, it counts as a loss for you. Oh, right, I should get rid of the starting soon thing. Anarchy battle, let us do Anarchy. Splat zones at Inkpot and Sturgeon, I know those places. It's still strange doing things without... Because, like, I used to be... My Splatling was only for tower control. But I've really liked running around with my Splatling doing everything lately. I've only played, like, 2 matches of actual Anarchy battles so far, and I got my butt handed to me on several dozen platters, let's say. I think all of the actual good X-Rankers are still down here scaring us. Double wave breaker. It feels so strange not to be waiting for armor. That was the most terrifying spot to jump to I have ever jumped to. Murder Blaster! Murder Blaster! Ooh, I'm still fast. I like those drinks. That just touched... Oh, it was the blaster. It's like I didn't see the blaster move until after I died, so I'm going... I didn't get to play Splat 1 until after it was over. So I also kind of miss Roller. Not Roller, shoot, what was it called? Baller. Okay. Canned trash. That is certainly a name. Canned trash. Oh, you did. Well, You're here now, and that's what matters. You're here now, you are having fun now. After my demise, I still destroyed trash. I'm really surprised I got that. I need ink, I need ink. Whoa! We've got this, team. Yay! The idea that your knowledge of Splatoon comes from my fanfic actually scares me a little. Not because I don't think I was a super jump spot? When? Anyway, not because I don't think I'm good, just because I feel like there has to be better sources than me. Anyway, welcome, have a seat. I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm assuming you're enjoying yourself. You're here and talking, so... Granted, I'm both pleased and a little bit annoyed that the gains and losses are so tiny in this mode. I'm used to like 20 points. Watching everything just explode because Wavebreaker is funny. Where is everybody? People! Come join me and the Gray Zap. Yay! They joined us. Three of those people have the same tag on their name on the other team. I feel like we're playing up against an actual team that just hasn't ranked up yet. And we are in so much trouble. Well, we'll find out soon. Get out of there. Better to jump out and save your special, especially when the scores need 80 points. Ow. Yeah, they're an actual team. They are covering each other with specials a little too well for it to not be the case. And I just fell in a most embarrassing spot. Good job, me. I miss my Splatling from this too. I really like Wavebreaker as a special, but I miss having of seeing people with matching dice. Yeah, that's it. In Splatoon 2, rather than the Anarchy thing, there was Ranked and there was League. Ranked, they put you up against people with roughly your skill level, and you could rank up or down in 10 battles or less, depending on how you won or lost. Win and lose about the same, you stay in the same rank. Win a bunch, rank up, lose a bunch, rank down. Now, and that was out of 100 points. Now you see I'm gaining and losing 8 and 2, so it's going to take a lot longer. But you can also play with people who are not your skill level if you want to. Just drag in any old friend. And I don't know if you play at the higher level or the lower level. I'm going to guess the lower level. One, two. Yes. League used to be, you had to be at least B- to play it, which you start off as a C- rank, and basically if you know the rules of the game, you can get out of C. So it was basically just going, okay, if you make sure you know how to play C rank, then you can play with your friends against whoever the heck and whatever the heck. And now we've got Anarchy, which is a little bit of a mix. An Anarchy series, which is somehow, I don't know, I do not understand it all. Out of ink. Ah, crud. Nice, I hate you. I could either die because you shot me or die because I swam into the bomb. That is nice positioning. And I hate you. I think that's the first time I've actually had to deal with a zip caster up close in multiplayer. I don't like it. Paint the zone. They were not painting. People, you can splat as many as you like, but if you don't paint the zone... Yeah, that seems to be the case. I don't quite understand it, but... If you choose to do what they call Anarchy Battle Series, you cannot play with friends and you're risking more, gaining more. But I don't quite understand how that works either. I'm just going, woo, splat zones. #1 popular target. Sure, why not? Great. No, 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 no. Did they leave me? Hey, that is incredible that you caught up to the standard level. Honest, double splatling on my team? So this is going to be interesting. It's like there's... Like in the old game, I think when they did a study, at one point they realized 1% of players are in X rank. So, if you're not in X rank, it's not that you're not good, it's that some people are ridiculous. I have reached X rank in a few of the ranks. It used to be that everything was separate, now that I think they're together. But I couldn't keep X rank. And now X rank doesn't exist anymore. This is taking some getting used to. Well, screw you too. Yeah. Also, gear doesn't make as much of a difference as I wish. Well, yes and no. It's... Oh, I'm alive. I honestly thought I was dead there. That was a full-on, oh, the other splatling came down while I was doing that. Yeah. Oh, they have a DC. Kind of feels dirty winning when the other team won the DC, but it was very close for a long time, so not that dirty. Yeah, splatling, there's a few different ones. This one, heavy splatling, I believe, is the most default sort. And it will often number one in consumer. That doesn't surprise me. Splatling will outrange a lot of weapons, but not every weapon, and it has to charge up. That's the weakness. Lots of range, decent firing speed, but you have to charge all of your shots before they actually do anything. There are shooters, regular shooters with longer range. Okay, fine. I do miss... I used to play Heavy Remix, which had Booyah Bomb and not toxic mist, point sensor, which Sprinkler is not the worst sub-weapon in the world, but there's a reason why being splatted by Sprinkler is a joke. Basically, if you're not on top of it, you're not gonna be splatted by it. Yeah, everything varies a whole lot in its category, but chargers, I think with one exception, all chargers are a one-shot splat. However, the longer the range of the charger, and generally the more powerful it is, the longer of time it takes to actually charge the shot. I need more ink. Out of the way. As you can see, if I get close to a brush, I am destroyed. It's trying to think of it. All splatlings involve charging up a shot and giving off multiple hits. All chargers involve charging up a shot and doing one shot. Freaking brush! Oh, lovely. For the record, I can tell how many people are up or down by looking at the top. That took me a long time to realize, so I just go, hey, things that you may not notice that are part of the game design. At the top, you can see what weapons there are. Everyone splatted again? People, could you just live for 30 seconds? Okay, no knockout. Fart nuggets! I don't think we're winning. Yeah, brushes, it's not my thing. In general, the more button mashing a weapon requires, the less I will play it. For the comfort of my fingers. Fall off! Woo! Dang it. And a lot of the pros and comp players, the people who are really good, will, not at this point because Splat 3 is still new, but they will have entire kits memorized. Well, GG's. Barring something pretty darn amazing in the next 10 seconds. Yep. Thank you. There are some new mechanics in this that I do not default to yet that would probably be better. I'm not used to squid surging and squid rolling. I still just do the old stats. And I know squid rolling at least has got to be really useful. I'm trying to call it octa rolling though, because calling them both squid, whatever, makes me feel weird. There's octolings too. They're awesome as well. Number 1 Splat Zone Anchor. Yeah, because I was the only one doing it. Okay. Let's go to the weapons shop. Get annoyed with Sheldon. Yeah. Because there were a lot of weapons in the test tire. I think there was at least one of every weapon type. But they didn't really explain too much about what the difference is. So, basic weapon class is the shooter. You hold the button and you move forward. There's a lot more strategy, but you can probably figure out how to use it. In Splatoon 2, the meta eventually became everybody uses shooters for everything at all times. Because whatever shooters could not do, with the variety of range and speed and RNG, could be accomplished with specials. So the key became just matching up specials and the right shooter. Splatter shot. You can see range, damage, fire rate. It's very, very average. It's why it's one of the first ones off. There's a reason why at a certain point that people were begging for Splat 3. They really, really wanted to try the new thing because that was the thing. Roll. So, base weapon classes. Shooter was the main first weapon class they came up with. Roller. Rollers, if you are on the ground and you use a roller, you hit horizontal. If you jump, you do a vertical swing. Vertical swing hits a lot higher. Horizontal hits a lot broader. If you hit in the center with one of the horizontal swings, you will do a lot more damage than if you hit on the edges. So the closer you are to the center, and people can do weird stuff with turning and hitting. It is surprisingly generally more effective to ink by swinging this thing than it is to roll. Being almost every roller, I think there is exactly one roller that does not auto-kill when you're rolled over by it. But you move slower when you're rolling. You can't ink walls at all unless you try to awkwardly whee, which really doesn't work too well. Sometimes it is Salmon Run is the exception to the rule where rolling is better. It also means that you do not miss spots, and there has been more than one time where somebody has been super jumping in or trying to get on something like the tower and tower control, and the person on top has just been going whee on the spot. That is not exactly easy to dodge. Blasters, they operate similar to shooters. They shoot slower, The thing to know about blasters is the reason why they don't fall down towards the ground at the end is they explode. That explosion has splash damage, so that they can hit things around them as well, if I could actually hit anything at all. Which means even if they don't directly hit you, they're dangerous. They can also hit around corners. Being able to hit... Yes, they can hit around corners if you are hit directly. Almost all of them are an instant shot, but hitting an actual direct shot is, as you can see, a pain in the neck. People who get directs tend to be really good at aim and practicing and timing. I am not the world's best blaster player. In tower control, where you are on a small platform with very little to guard you, blasters are death. Slosher. Slosher is a bucket. Which means if you turn while sloshing, you can hit a large range of area. You can hit somebody over the top of a wall because you can aim upwards. And fall damage is a mechanic. You can hit people up top a lot easier than you can with some other weapons. Shooters especially have a hard time getting up like that. Good slosher players can hit very effectively. You can see the fall off does less than a direct thing. So yeah, there's a bunch of different buckets, which vary based on how much paint they do, how far away they ink, and so forth, but those are some of the basics. Brushes are, brushes I believe are technically classed as rollers. Like, there's the roller class and brushes are considered a subclass. The thing about brushes, I doubt they've changed this since Game 2, is they are deadly close up. They do not splat if you run into somebody with them. In fact, you kind of bounce off. They are very speedy, and I believe the limit to how fast the brush can swing is roughly as fast as you can button mash. The further away you are when you hit somebody, the less damage it does, but I am terrible with brushes. Brellas. If you tap, there is one type of class called an undercover Brella. I'll talk about that later, but Brella, tap the button, and it's a shotgun. If you hold, you have a shield. Hold it for long enough, and the shield goes and runs people over. Usually in actual play, it will bounce off people. So, players who can time the shield and defend themselves and their teammates tend to be very, very good. I am not very good with Brellas myself. The undercover Brella has a rapid fire that's a lot weaker than the average Brella attack, but the shield doesn't close as long as you're shooting. Shield doesn't come off, shield doesn't close. The shield can break, but it's... In normal Brellas, it's rather difficult to break the shield. Undercover Brellas, it's a lot easier to break the shield. Tentabrellas, which are massive tents, are freaking impossible to break. Tri-stringer, new weapon, new bow. Bow is new to this game. It has some charging mechanics in that the longer you hold the button, the further it goes and the more power behind your attack. Let's see. Do I own any dualies myself yet? I should, but I don't see them right now. Okay. Okay, there they are. Splat dualies are the most basic dualie. But... So, you see there's two crosshairs, so your shots are slightly less accurate because of that. Shortly after you dodge roll, as long as you don't move, it turns into one very fast, very murderous thing. Dodge rolls work because when you dodge roll, it actually uses ink. Basically, it fires off a blast of ink in order to roll you in one direction or another. The different rulees have different range, rates of fire, and how how far the rolls work, and exactly how the rolls work. Most of the rolls you can roll twice. There is exactly one type of dualies that has more than 4 rolls, and they are very, very short. Most of the rolls, once you roll, you are stuck in one spot for at least a few seconds. One of them, I believe, you slide a little bit as well. Yep. So... the 4 dualies comp that I had in the FIC was basically 4 different ranges, 4 different... You see this one's slower but longer range. There are some very, very strange weapons and weapon classes in here. So Splat Charger, as I said, is the most basic charger. One shot, 160 damage. It can hit from quite some distance. And and you can tell if you're being targeted because it does have a laser firing sight. Really good charger players are known to flick their shots and aim a little to one side and then move over as they release. They are scary. And yes, that is Captain's Cane. Captain's Cane is actually a bamboozler. If you'll remember earlier, I said there was exactly one charger that did not auto-kill in one hit. That's the bamboozler. It has, compared to all other chargers, it has significantly shorter range. It almost does one hit. The thing is, though, its charging time is ridiculously fast. Somebody who has... I know several people who play Bamboo, and they have told me that if you master the art of charge tap, you will pretty much have an insta-splat no matter what. It is very maneuverable. It is basically... The skill floor is somewhere in the attic to actually use it well. But the skill ceiling is oh my freaking god. And that brings me back to my splatling. So you saw the splat charger, which is the most basic charger. It has similar but a little less range to that. And instead of being one hit, requires several hits. But instead of shooting once, it shoots a whole bunch. If a charger misses their shot, a splatling can win the fight. Another difference between them, there's exactly... If I have a full charge and I squid, I lose the charge and I have to start back over. That is the same for every splatling except one. There is one splatling class where its entire gimmick is, hey, I can hold the charge. Chargers can charge and then swim without losing it right away. Most of them can't swim for very long, but it does mean they can reposition a lot easier. Or they could charge behind cover, jump out, shoot, and swim back. Chargers have basically no fall-off damage, so they cannot hit you over on top of things, whereas splatlings very much can. So those are a lot of the major differences between the weapons at this point. There are a million variations, as you can see. There are semi-automatics where every time you tap you get 3 shots. Or I can't use them very well. There are very fast blasters that are not one-hit kills with even if they get directs. There is everybody's favorite to hate, the Bloblobber, which is a slosher. A very specific slosher. It is a bathtub. You are lobbing bubbles. The Bloblobber has a very low skill rate, has a very low skill floor and a very high skill ceiling. Because I have been splatted with a complete direct around 2 corners by people who know what they're doing with the blob. Different sub and special, but these are the ones Lucky uses. 4 dodge rolls, very short dodge rolls. Yeah. You will see a lot of people who use blob in just about every mode, every rank. There's going to be somebody who plays blob. It is a very, very... It definitely has its uses. Every weapon has its uses. Every weapon has good sides, bad sides. But you can, you can immediately tell anybody who uses this is going to be scary. Alright, Anarchy battle mode is now tower control. Half the fun of this game is... I didn't go over Splatanas. Well, you were in the test fire. You know Splatanas. They're the other class that's new to this game. So in the first game, if I remember right, the original Agent 3, who is now Captain 3 in this game, they got promoted because Captain Cuttlefish, I guess, retired. And that is something that you would know from all of the commercials, so I'm not going to call it a spoiler. But, like, Captain 3 would use shooter for everything. Agent 1 is a roller main, and Agent 2 uses chargers. They have their actual canonical weapons that they prefer. Oh, that's a blob. There are 3 down. Someone get on the tower. Freaking heck muffins! Anyway, you can also immediately see why in-tower control blasters are dangerous. There is just nowhere to hide when you are on that tiny little island. Freaking blob. Awesome. Significance of checkpoints in tower control is checkpoints basically have HP. If you leave them before you've gotten through the whole HP bar, then next time you get up to them, you have to start removing their HP all over again. Bark! Finding people who you're good playing with is half the fun of it, even if they're complete randos. Heck, sometimes especially if they're complete randos. Oh, crud! I swam into a suction bomb! Oh, when you have respawn Punisher, you son of a muffin! That was not my best move. So the X button at any time brings up the map. And you can actually get a very good idea of how the match is going by what you see on the map. Because... no. This is my tower now. Never mind. this tiny little pole in the center of the tower can block shots. It can also block bombs. Yeah, Respawn Punisher is somebody who has Respawn Punisher equipped. Everybody who they splat and everybody who's and every time they are splatted, the comeback time is longer. So for somebody who expects to do a lot of destroying without getting destroyed very often, it's a good idea. Generally, it is so little cover. Some people, I know logically it's not really different in this game, but it feels different. Number 1 score booster, go me! I used to be really good at tower dancing, where if you can figure out how to keep that little tiny pole between you and whatever the heck, then it can protect you against a lot more than you really think it should. Inching my way up. Inching my way up. Whoa, Lost Duck. Lost Duck was the scary one there. 23 splats, 7 times splatted. Though we were all pretty good team. But yeah, tower control is basically tug of war. If no one is on the tower, then it either stays still or returns to the center. Takes a few seconds for it to for someone to lose control of it if no one else gets on it. Oh, sweetums. You don't just get on the tower at the very start. You wait until you have some form of advantage. You're just putting a target on your head. Worth it. Worth it. Oh, that's how it works here. The water level drops when someone gets past the second checkpoint? I will not squid bag, it's bad sportsmanship. This is a fun map. It's... Game 1, Mahi Mahi was a map I did not play it on Game 1, because I got a Wii U after Splatoon 2 was all finished, so I never had internet on my Wii U. So I don't really get how it worked then. I know it's been remodeled a little, but it still works about the same. Tower control and splat zones were the first 2 modes. First, I believe there was only splat zones, and then there was splat zones and tower control. Yay! Ooh! And then they added Rainmaker. In Game 2 they added Clam Blitz, and oh boy, Clam Blitz is the one they basically have to explain to everybody at all times. Ah, we lost our duck. Some of the rules for clams seem to have changed a little bit since Game 2, which I'm hoping that's a good thing. Oh, something you may not notice, but is a mechanic on purpose. When you use your special, you get a full ink supply. Yeah, it's, I believe when they released Splatoon 1, they said ranked modes will become available as soon as enough people meet the requirements. The requirement was reach level 10, you can start playing ranked. And apparently they reached that very, very quickly from what I was told. Like, I remember reading, oh, like within 36 hours, I want to say. Aww! And it was good music, too. It was off the hook. So, I don't even know what I said that was so useful. Oh yeah, the special is filling your ink. Well, now you know. Let's do this. They have double rollers. Right, they're not past the first. Oh, again? Really? Dang. 2 in a row, really? Someday I will get better at hitting moving targets while I myself am moving. Someday, but not today. Ooh, I am the range on my team. Trade? I got crushed. risky. It's not a lead until they're past the check. Bark! I took out both the people on the tower. How am I alive? Okay, that's somebody who actually knows what they're doing on this map. Dang. Watch for the roller. Freaking heck! This is probably not a safe jump. Yeah, that roller knows absolutely what they're doing. Holy muffins. Freaking heck muffins! That is a stinky roller! Come on, someone else. Thank you. Hang in there, Luck. Yes! Okay, and that's the lead. That's the lead. Get on the tower, get on the tower. Fine, it's fine, it's fine. They have to get past the checkpoint to get to the win. And they have to get on the tower. I did not expect that one. That was close. Record score setter. Yes, I was the one who pushed. Thank toast I got on there when I did. So I actually got on the tower. I knew how to deal with that stinking roller. Yeah, I did not get the most splats on my team. That stinky roller was definitely their team's MVP. But I was the one on the tower, and that really mattered there. Ooh, Mahi Mahi again. And we're up against, oh, Lord Blade Vader has a charger. Okay, I'm my team's range. I need to stay at a ideal spot for me is at a safe distance, close enough to contribute, far enough to stay safe. No. I repeat, no. Little vertical section there. I like that. It's not big enough to be a huge obstacle, but it is big enough to be an annoyance. Splat Charger has their special, and I don't know what it is. Yay! Welcome back. You missed the game where we did end up winning, but in the meantime, I got run over by a roller and crushed by a roller about 9 times? No, it said I only got splatted 9 times, and not all of them were to the roller. That roller got 22 splats. They were murderous. I keep getting record score setter because I keep being the one on the tower when we get to the furthest point. But yeah. Juke Jam, the Destroyer. Yay! Usually because of my range, I'm considered a backline or an anchor. Ooh, who's the new person? I can't read their name. Okay. So I'm long range. We have 2 mid-range and a short range. So it's probably best for me. A good anchor is close enough to help out while staying far enough away that they stay safe. Okay, you off. Have I made it clear that you were annoying me yet? Get out of the way of the chicken. Nice. Oh, crud. I was looking at the map and I didn't notice I was being targeted by missiles. But we got past the checkpoint, so you know it's good. We're fine. I am the last one alive. Joy. Joy and wonder. So if you look at the top of the screen, you'll notice that one of the people on the other team is glowing. That means they've got their special. I wonder when they're going to use it. Nope, no chicken. Sorry, person. Get back up, back up, back up. It's fine. How in the world did you get... Oh, wipeout crud. That was my bad. Should have been paying attention. Yeah, it's... A lot of it is practice. Practice and knowing, hey, this is a thing that exists. This is a thing that we can actually pay attention to. You down, okay? I am in no mood for annoying brushes. And you are a brush, so you qualify by default. That could have gone better. Oh, we have a DC on our team. Let's see if we can win anyway. Probably not. Yeah. If the disconnect happens soon enough, then they kick everyone out. But if it happens later, it doesn't. It's like there's... If you were to rate players on a scale from 1 through 10, with 1 being picked up the game yesterday, has never done anything like this before, and 10 is does this for a living, I am 6 or 7? I am good enough to be scary to other players. But I am absolutely being destroyed on a regular basis by people who actually can do all of the stuff. And I'm perfectly happy being where I am at this point. It's like, hey, I'm competent, I know what I'm doing. Someday I enjoy it, but I'm not willing to put in enough time and effort to actually improve as much as I would need to. And being reasonably scary as fun as it is. Yeah. Oh, Splatana. And they have double arrow spray. They don't have anything really long range. The longest range they've got is their roller when it flings. Lesson 1. Quick on the tower! I'm sorry! I'm sorry! In general, having the entire team on the tower is not a good idea. Both because it makes it harder to move and because you're an easy target. But, there are exceptions. Technically, the tower moves a little bit faster with more people on it. Which... that happens! That happens! Rainmaker in Game 2 did not have checkpoints, so a 20-second knockout was entirely possible. I was the only one on my team who got splatted, but I was also tied for top splatter, and yeah, that happened. Possibly the good thing about Anarchy and ranked modes, depending on, like, I'm probably going to be calling it ranked for forever just because I have for so long, is if the teams are wildly uneven, it can just end quickly and you can get on to a fight where you're not ridiculously outmatched. Being on the right side of a 30-second knockout is a terrific feeling. Being on the wrong side is not the best feeling. They've got a blob, a tri-slinger. I think that's a sploosh. Yep, sploosh. Sploosh is an incredibly short-ranged menace. In short, if a sploosh can reach you, then you can absolutely reach the sploosh. There are brushes with longer range, but they are also incredibly fast-firing, incredibly fast, just in general. Out of the rain, out of the rain, out of the rain. That's not quite where I wanted that to go. You off the tower. Bark. Roller. Roller. Roller with respawn Punisher. Lovely. Jumping to the tower is always dangerous because the tower is always under fire, but... It's not actually... Okay, now it's an actually... We're past the checkpoint. Nope, out of the way, out of the way, out of the way, out of the rain, out of the way. Crud. There are so many specials. It's... In Splat 2, I was trying very hard to memorize, like, which weapon had which sub-weapon and which special weapon, so that I would know what I was up against, and... There are so many weapons. Ouch. Okay, now we might be in trouble. 30 seconds left. Bark! Okay, we're in trouble. Screw the blob. Breathe. Breathe. No! Freaking heck! Last second. Oh yeah. They're so cool. Dang it. Good game. Hate you. Good game. And yeah, it's... Like, you will definitely find favorite specials, and there are specials that... Like, there are specials you definitely have to learn to use. Some specials, 10 to missiles, are basically trigger them, aim at things, and press the button. There is very little skill floor or ceiling for them. When playing in a team with voice chat, you can use it to kind of scout where the enemy is, so it's more helpful there. Whereas Zipcaster, which is the ninja one, involves a fair bit of figuring out where you're going and why you're going and what you're going to do there very quickly. So that's going to be a harder one. The thingy I'm using, which I'm now forgetting the name of, Wavebreaker. I am not having the most efficient placements in the world, I will admit that. I'm trying, I'm just not succeeding. Because it can be broken. So the best place for it would be in a corner so it's harder to shoot at. Well, screw you and your flank. Well played. I think you're the first person to flank down here. I will shoot you off your crab, so help me. And also, I'm not necessarily using it at good times. Example A. You should not use a special that means you can't shoot for a few seconds and you move slowly while you are actively being shot at. Okay, Pokesaurus is actually dangerous. Jump to tower. Jump in front of being shot. No drinks for you! You see how I kept that little pole between me and the bomb? That kept me safe. And a lot of people who do not know how to play the game are thinking that I am just a witch. Look, you're trying to spawn camp my teammates, you muffin. Well, they're marked, so you have to know what you're jumping into. Left. You know, being sneaky would have worked better if you weren't marked, but well played on the crab tank. I still hate you. Not gonna jump to a teammate because I notice there's still the crab out there. Yay! Yeah, it's... If you know how to actually use it, it is incredibly good. It's... There's a special that was in this previous game that I think is only in hero mode at this point. Think it may come... Like, they are going to introduce new weapons. They may put it in the main game. I have no idea. And that will complete Splashdown. Yep, I didn't want to say it for sure, but if you can use the little tiny pole to protect you from that in Splat 2. As long as there is something between you and it. Like, I'm sure they've messed with the hitbox at least somewhat. In Game 2, it did not hit very far down, but it did have an arc upwards when it hit. So if you were above somebody who did it, you could also be hit, which got me on more than one occasion. Yay! Splashdown from Game 1 was considered... Not Game 1, from Game 2 was considered... There was a lot of jokes about, we have 2 brushes now, oh boy. There were actually a lot of jokes about how it's barely constituted a special. At least in part because for people who knew how, as particularly Charger players, with good aim and reflexes, it was entirely possible, and in fact very probable, that somebody could shoot you out of the air. There was a brief period of armor, but there was also an unarmored moment. Bark, didn't see that bomb. And so people were literally canceling splashdowns in midair and shooting people out of the air before they had a chance to land and actually do anything. Very often. Incredibly useful in the lower ranks. And then people got to the higher ranks and it became more of a joke than a danger. It's incredibly powerful at lower levels and with people who do not know how to do that. So it's kind of on the cusp. But it did kind of become trade with the other Splatling. But it did kind of become something of a joke among the higher ranks. Because I think the number one thing it was famous or infamous for is you could do it out of a super jump. You could super jump and splash down out of the super jump. You would be completely invulnerable because you were still in the super jump animation when your splashdown animation started. Bark. And it made camping super jumps incredibly hazardous. I just want to shoot people off the crab tanks. French toast. We're losing. We're losing this one. Yeah. I think I'm gonna get a different group. Playing with 2 brushes at once is less exciting. or not less exciting. I like playing with a mixture of weapons and ranges. Either, like, you either want to go full meme team with everyone the same, or you want a bunch of different stuff. So what else is available? The series. Bet points to possibly win. Not Clam Blitz. Nope, I am not going to Clam Blitz. If it had been Rainmaker or Splat Zones, I may have risked it, but I am not risking it with Clam Blitz. Not with a variety of everything right now. And Splatoon 2 for everything except tower control. I primarily played Splattershot Jr., so I was playing the first weapon you get in the game. Pro tip, that Splattershot Jr. actually is a serious weapon used in comp. I don't know how the Splat 3 meta is going to pan out. But I don't see... Bubbler... Big Bubbler is not as overpowered as Armor was, but definitely does still have its uses. Ooh, double backline. Me and a Charger. And they have a Charger and... Charger, Clash Blaster, fastest blaster, but the slowest kill. Out of the way, out of the way. I don't feel like being Clash Blasted. Charger. Eliter 4K. Longest range Charger. Incredibly long charge up time. In the hands of someone who knows what they're doing, a holy smokes, are you gonna die? It's not so much you're gonna die as you're already dead by the time you realize there's a problem. So the thing about Splattershot Jr., and it is, like, it's point and shoot. So it is starting off the skill floor. But the thing is, what they did to balance it in the original game, because they were or in Splat 2, because they were trying very hard to make every weapon viable, and it's freaking heck Clash Blaster! And they came... I like watching my enemies fall into the water in the Splat cam. Anyway, is what they did to balance it, rather than make it more accurate when it was incredibly inaccurate, like, trying to aim with that thing is... Trying to aim with that thing is like RNG. It is pure... You just don't really aim. It hits an area. It's very good for turfing, so it will get a lot of ink and it will get special a lot. So combine that with defensive specials and you get a fair amount of defense on a regular basis. That was not my example. But what they did to balance it was they gave it a larger ink tank. Splat bombs are... They have a reasonably wide radius for where they hit. Charger. Freaking Chargers. They usually take about a bit more of, like, I want to say about 3/4 of your ink tank. Maybe, which is a lot of it. So when you throw a splat bomb, there's not too much else you can do after that. You have to restore some ink, you can use some defense. But what they did to balance the Splattershot Jr. was they gave it a bigger ink tank. So suddenly, double splat bombs off the baby weapon that can't hit anything. Ow. And since getting your special refills your ink tank, you could have a junior throw 2 bombs, trigger their special, which would protect everyone on their team in Game 2, and in this game protect an area of the map, and then throw 2 more bombs. Flash blasters. So, Bomb Rush as a... I don't think Bomb Rush... Is Bomb Rush even in the game as a special anymore? I don't know. There's so many specials. But you would have a miniature Bomb Rush from somebody who paints ridiculously. Freaking heck. Yeah, so... I mean, you've played any amount and you have some idea of how ridiculously over-the-top bombs are. Looks like overtime. Come on. Okay. Those are suction bombs. Splat bombs, the timer for when they go off starts when they hit the ground, and I think it takes 3 seconds. It may be less, it always seems longer when you're actually playing. Suction bombs, I want to say take... Yep, suction bombs are the ones that stick to walls. They take a bit more ink, they take longer to explode, but you don't see them coming. And they can stick in such annoying places. Burst bombs are not an instant kill. I think it takes 3 to actually kill something. They do about 40 damage. It's about the same as being hit by the wave breaker. And I think you can throw 2 of them on an ink tank. But people who can aim with them, there's a lot of weapons where if you hit somebody with the burst bomb and then hit them once with your weapon, then it's a splat for you. And they also paint the ground very well in a large area, which means you can move around easier and they're good for escapes. I am with it. Like, I have... Sprinkler takes up... I have some ink saver sub on, so it takes less of my ink tank than it would otherwise, but it still takes about half my ink tank. Yeah, those are burst bombs. They explode when they hit anything. A wall, a floor, which means that you can use that to ink the area. They also explode when they hit other opponents, so... They're basically water balloons. If you look at the artwork, they actually are water balloons. Why did I do that? Nobody saw that. Three down. Screw you! Blasters! No, jumping is too risky right now. Yet another bomb. Yet another bomb. I need to pay more attention to the bombs. Okay, they're wiped out. Okay. Not a lead until we've got a checkpoint up on him. We're not gonna get it with the only one up as our Explosher. Yeah, I see you, you stinking blaster. Paint, 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 paint. Bark! Blaster! No, try Stringer. Very nice shot, I hate you. No, no. Bark! Okay, we'll just have to win this in overtime. Let me on that tower. Never mind. Never mind. GG, so close, so sad. Dang it. Dang it. Xenoblade had so many... Xenoblade and Share... Yeah, you can tell the veterans usually. The ones with ridiculous splat counts. So on my team right now, there's me. There's Dapple Dualies. They're a little bit shorter range, but short range, but fast shooting, fast destroying Dualies. There's the Explosher, which is a slosher that throws a shot that explodes at the end. And I'm not sure what sort of... Oh boy. Double Dualies. I think it might be a vanilla splat roller. Just a regular one. No. Okay, fine. Wow, you really come back fast after you've had a drink. What do they put in those? We've got a lot more ink, which means we have a lot more maneuverability and an advantage by default. That was fast. Not necessarily squid steroids, but there's certainly caffeine in those. Wow. Maybe that's why no one wants Lucky to have caffeine. Yeah, I didn't get a lot of splats or assists that round, but... Oh, so that's... Oh, poor Dizzy and Kiddo. They just got... Oh, everyone's gone. Well, let's check. No, I can't check what their weapons were. So more strategy. These are not the best pieces of gear. They're good for now, and I'm keeping them for now because I don't have too many options. I don't have too much money. In general, the one I've got, Run Speed, is good for Splatlings because with the whole charge and shoot thing, being able to move fast while walking instead of swimming is very, very useful. Shooters can just swim, pop out, shoot, and immediately jump back into swimming, but I'm doing a lot of walking. And so I want that little bit of an extra advantage. And it even applies when I am shooting that I go faster. This also means that as a general rule, because Splatlings like a lot of run speed and are used to walking around more than swimming, they tend to have a slight advantage on areas with grates because they're used to doing all that running and they can do a lot more running. Chargers cannot charge up a shot and move to a different spot if they're going to fall through the floor, so... 2 range blasters and... Oh my... This is going to be a nightmare! If anyone on that team knows what they're doing, this is going to be a nightmare. Okay. I think I outranged both teams. Okay, at least one person on that team knows what they're doing. but not the end zap. Yep, pretty much. Like, something that they don't really go into detail on in-game, but that is something people know when playing or notice, is weapons have weight classes. Most of them are medium. There's also light and heavy. The Rainmaker is considered ultra heavy. When you are carrying a heavy, like, your speed, if you are carrying a heavy weapon, is going to go down. If you are carrying a lightweight weapon, your speed will actually go up. I believe, like, bamboo is a lightweight weapon. They are fast, annoyingly so. Ow. From what I've heard talking to and watching professional players, your equipment does make a difference, but it should not make the difference between you winning and losing. Your equipment should be the difference between Fark. Like, good equipment and bad equipment should be the difference between comfortably winning and being a little annoyed at things. Losses happen. And I'm trying not to let it get me down that I'm in B-, cause... Oh, what is that emote that you have, you fashionable sea creature? Cause everybody who had saved data from Splatoon 2 was lumped into B-. So that means there's a huge range of skill levels, all stuck together. Yep. Both Blasters and the Boozler knew what they were doing. So fall off. Normally I do 40, I think it's 30 damage a hit. Yep, 30 damage a hit. If I'm hitting set on. So if I'm hitting at an angle and it's falling off like that, 15 damage. But it's possible for me to... Trying to get a distance right for this. So, if I'm at this angle, approximately here, yeah, and then I can hit that far away. Yeah, so I pity the people who are brand new and get up to B- from the C ranks before most, at least, of the upper rank people get out. Because the best of the best players are getting out first. And... have I heard this song before? I'm not sure. Oh, since I didn't mention it before, the difference between regular charger and scope charger. Scopes cannot hold their charge. So they lose that. They get a bit more range. And as they charge up the shot, their vision zooms in so that they can absolutely focus on what they're doing. Good scoped players are murderous disasters. Nice. Okay, the rest of you paint. Oh, they have a DC. Sucks to be them. Hello, blaster to the face. I would like to shoot people off their crab tanks. I think it's a balancing thing. But also, in other things, since your vision is very limited with the scope, trying to swim like that could probably be dangerous. Rushes. Well, I hit him a time or two. Rush on one side, blaster on the other. Yeah, I was gonna die. So Booyah Bomb, if you haven't seen that before, it's charged up by the cheers of you and your teammates. So smacking the Booyah button down on the D-pad as fast as you can is a good idea, because that means it charges faster and the person using it is stuck hanging in the air, trying not to be shot at for less time. Also, charging it also increases your special a little bit. Doubt they changed that from the previous game. So it is in your own best interest to charge it. It also makes you visible when you charge it, even if you're in ink and otherwise hard to see. So there are times where it's smart not to charge the Booyah Bomb because you will wind up spotted and destroyed. Like if I'm on a team with them again, you'll notice that when I press Booyah, there's little lines shooting out of me. Members of the other team can see those lines. Not quite like the Wave Breaker, but pretty similar. I believe the one this person has is the Hydra Splatling. It takes longer to charge, but it has a larger range. In a fight against a Hydra, I usually lose, I will be honest. Because they outrange me, so if we start firing at the same time, they will hit me. And we're about the same amount of maneuverable. Oh, they've got all shooters. Okay. We definitely outrange them. Crud, I forgot to mute Discord before starting. Ow. Why does it always seem to booyah bomb when I'm respawning? I need ink. We just had a DC on our team. Okay. We can still do this, team. We have a 1-point lead. We could lose at any second. But they haven't... Yeah! I saw the flank. I just couldn't do anything about the crab. Wait, they were wiped out. Not us. We still had someone alive. Okay. Bark. Didn't do that well. We're already down a person, and trade is not good enough. We've got to make a big push soon. They're still barely winning. I need more ink. I always need more ink. Why do I always need more ink? No! Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, you saw that little green line going from me? Jump back, save your inks, jump back, save your ink, save your special. No! Okay, breathe, breathe, breathe. They've still got a ways to go. Yes! 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 Woo! Oh! We were outnumbered for so much of that! What did you do? You weren't there! Thank you for the booyah! Okay, yeah, we did so hard on that. I've never done this. I don't know how it works. How do you watch other people's uploads? I don't know. I am writing down this number. RD0B KVCY CMJ1 CSWK. Yeah, yeah. I have no idea who you are, Gerbloom. But you know, we just did awesome together when we shouldn't have. And I know you were top splatter, and you know that I've really freaking helped out. So we will be friends. Ooh, weapon freshness phrase. I got a sticker for it. I can now be a fun table turf battler. You know what? No, I'm not talking to you, Jet. Tower Control and Rainmaker, depending on the day and the maps, they kept going back and forth between my favorite modes. Tower Control is probably my favorite most often, so I will call it my favorite, and Rainmaker a close second. Clamblitz, when it's good, it is really, really good. When it's... like, most games have... most matches, like, depending on how they go, will have worst match ever as a 1, best match ever as a 10. That win there was probably an 8 or a 9. That was awesome. And Clamblitz, instead of going 1, 2, 3, kind of goes 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5, 3, 3.5, 9. Okay. When it's good, it is freaking amazing. No one wanted to come this way so I could get a drink. Oh well. Fighting the tower is important. watching my teammate with a drink just noom across the map. Nice. Blaster and roller, I'm getting out of here. If I don't get splatted, then I don't... You don't lose all of your special when you get splatted, but you do lose some. So it's better to run away. Hi! That is a shark. A shark is when somebody just hides in ink and waits for their chance. Rollers are very prone to sharking, and I imagine you can just guess why. Yeah, referring to a sharking roller is another of those things that make people who don't play the game look at us like we've lost our collective minds. The dynamo and the flings are doing it. Hold on. Little bit of lag there. Not a good spot for it. It was directly on the path of the tower. Tower's gonna run it over and destroy it before it's got off all three. Or not! Dynamo Roller is really freaking slow, really freaking powerful. It manages to generally be considered a backliner, despite being a roller, because of how freaking slow and powerful it is. But man, it hits like a truck. It hits everything in its vicinity like a truck. Like a truck launched out of a superpowered slingshot. Maps are going to change soon, so I won't have too much tower control. I might swap over to Salmon Run. You said you've played a little bit, but you haven't played Hero Mode yet. Have you gotten to level 4 yet and unlocked all the extra other modes and such? Because the shops in Salmon Run open at level 4. And Salmon Run is very, very good for getting down teamwork skills and dealing with specials. You don't have the game? Ah, I'm sorry. Bum bum bum, ba da da dum, bum bum bum, ba da da dum, bum bum bum, ba da da dum, bum bum bum, bum bum bum, ba da da dum, bum Ah, understandable, yeah. It's... I will do my best not to spoil you, but the longer it goes on, the harder it will be to avoid everything. I myself set up a class, like, classifications. Like, there's a difference between knowing something is a major plot point versus knowing, hey, this is a thing that happens at some point. So I will almost certainly, without even meaning to spoil you, at some point in regards to, hey, this is a level that will happen at some point. And because people are enthusiastic, you will probably not be able to make it more than a couple months without learning things like, oh, this is one of the bosses. Dangerous jump. Yay! My own settings for spoilers, which I made pretty clear as early as I could, was I do not mind learning that there are weapons or loadouts, or hey, at some point there will be a level where you, completely hypothetical example, and I'm taking from the previous. Yeah, that's true. There is a level at some point where you use Blaster. That isn't really a spoiler. Like, that sort of thing I don't care about. But I spent Friday through Monday of last week just doing hero mode. Because I learned there were all sorts of places with spoilers. At least one of the splash tags, you know, those things that show on people's name tags when you're playing with them, is a possible spoiler, because you get one for beating the game. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, and it's understandable. I don't know this song, but I like it. No. Yeah. I hope you get it in the near future. 'Cause, well, you know. The longer something's been around, the harder it is to go in completely blind, just because people are excited. People want to talk about crud. I don't think I will stop B. At this point, I'm planning on staying careful about spoilers in my server. until I think I originally said I was going to try hard until a month after the holidays. Because between Hanukkah and Christmas and winter solstice, and I don't know if, I think Kwanzaa they also exchange gifts. I have no idea about whatever the Muslim holiday is at that time. I'm pretty sure there is one. I have no idea. Uh, but between all of that, there is a lot more opportunity for people to get stuff that they wouldn't otherwise. So, from, so if people get things, and lengthwise, I will say the length, I don't know if you consider that a spoiler. So, lengthwise, I said it took me 4 days. I probably put. I'm going to hold my hand up. I will say the time when I put my hand out. I'll stop talking about the length. I think I put 10 to 13 hours into it, completing everything. If you do not complete everything, then it probably would only take 7 or 8 hours. So that is the length, which means it's entirely possible for people to beat it in 1 to 2 weeks or a month. So after that point, I will probably lighten up a whole lot on spoilers, because there is only so much you can do. Oh crud, they're going to have double drinks. Yeah, I wasn't directly behind the thing there. Nope, jumping is a bad move right now. Jumping is a very bad move. Need more ink, need more ink. Blasters. Oh, the range blaster also has that. Okay, that's where it keeps coming from. Ow. That was not my smartest move. Yay! I couldn't get behind because someone else was on the tower with me. Oh, it's us that's wiped out. Crud muffins. Didn't realize I'd run out of charge. Whether it's splatlings or chargers, you will charge slower while jumping. I'm not sure about bow. Can somebody just take an ultra stamp to that blaster? Do I plan on using only elements from the Splat 3 story and fix, I have no idea. At this point, Like, I haven't thought too much beyond Lucky. I have a Sly Cooper fanfiction that has been on hiatus for way too long. Things that are on my mind is if I do anything in the Splat 3 timeline, do I actually want to obey the Splat 3 timeline? Because they are following in-game time, and it just feels really awkward. Like, in Game 1, Callie and Marie were 17, and Game 2, which was released 1 year after Splat 3, so 2 years after Splat 1's release, they were given as 19 or so. Like, it didn't give the exact thing, but it didn't say specifically that age, but it said it took place 1 year after the end of Splatoon 1. So most likely age 19. So that's not too big of an age gap. The player character you play as is supposed to be at least 14, probably like around age 14. So Game 2, Game 1, you have a team made up of a kooky old guy and 2 17-year-olds and somebody who is roughly age 14. That is not a huge age difference. Like, you can headcanon them a little older than 14. You could do 15, 16 without it breaking the immersion. But roughly age 14. Game 2, you have 2 19-year-olds, maybe 20, depending on exactly when their birthdays are. Because they're not twins. They're not the exact same age, but they're born roughly this. So they're roughly age 19. You have Agent 3, who is probably 16 or 17. Agent 8 is said to be roughly the same age as Agent 3. So that would also be around age 16, 17, 18. Yeah, it is. And they recruit somebody else who is around Splat Zones. Or do I want to do Salmon Run? What's Salmon Run right now? That is a terrible combination of weapons. Let's try it. So, Game 2, you have a 19-year-old who recruits a 14-year-old to try to find another 19-year-old. And you have a kooky old man and a 16-year-old trying to get out of danger zone with being rescued by another 16 or 17-year-old. So that's not too big, but they officially said the gap between Game 2 and Game 3 was real lifetime, which would mean you now have 2 24-year-olds, Callie and Marie. You have Agent 3 would be 20, around age 21, the original 3 from Game 1. So, and 8 would also be around 20 or 21. Agent 4 would be around age 19. And you are playing as a 14-year-old that they recruit. That just strikes me as I cannot see. The older everybody except the kooky old man gets, the less likely I find that they will happily have a 14-year-old happily doing dangerous things. Because people who are your age or roughly your age, you don't see anything wrong with the weirdness you're doing, and the crazy old guy recruiting things is just a crazy old guy. Low tide. And it's dark. Dude, I can't hit you if you're running away. I have a brush here. I'm not exactly long range. Yep. Yep. So... But the older people get, the less likely they are to look at somebody and go, they are competent, and it's more likely they are to go, they are baby, we must protect them. Or to look at somebody who is the same age they were when they did something dangerous and go, holy crud, I was just a kid, they're just a kid. What were they thinking? Which, entirely valid. So I cannot see Hallie and Marie age 24 going along with recruiting a 14-year-old. I just can't. So to start off with, if I do a fan fiction in the Splatoon 3 timeline, I have to decide how much exactly I would like to be accurate to the timeline and how much I would just like to there's no reason I absolutely need to have them all be the proper ages. I could fudge it. Because the idea of 19-year-old Lucky just kind of makes me feel weird. Yeah, the thing is about Salmon Run, almost all of the bosses are based on specials. Ow. So that one, similar to the, the big bubbler, when you cannot hurt it except from the top or underneath. Oh, right. Don't need to go over there for this thing. It's over here now. That was my silly thing. So the slam and lid, when you're underneath it, it pounds down, but you can only hurt it from top. Same angle, same same height that most big bubblers are when they go up. Flyfish are tentamissiles. Bark! Yeah. Oh, screw you, Grizz. We got way more than you were asking for. Yeah. Like, I don't know if they were all designed that way, but it seems... I know a number of them, at the very least, have that as mechanic or similar. One of the bosses shoots off an ink storm. Trying to remember now. One of them throws a bomb that you have to destroy before they throw it in order to damage them, and that bomb is the exact height of a splashdown cancel. So no longer really relevant to this game unless they had a new weapon with that as a special in-game. Inkstorm is surprisingly dangerous. Salmon Run taught me that. That's the one. Shoot the thing on its head before it throws it in order to... deal with it. Or else it throws a bomb that explodes, which isn't an exact description of Splashdown, but pretty close. Of one of the newer bosses, the one where you have to paint an area, is actually teaching people how to do splash zones. Splat zones. Paint the area to... I got rained on. Moz can only be hurt two ways. One, shoot it when it comes out of the ground, or two, throw a bomb in its stinking mouth. The bomb is an instant kill. So it's basically teaching you how to use splat bombs. Because a lot of people just do not realize they have a sub-weapon or remember to use it. And that's a way of teaching it. It's getting dark. Special wave. The higher you go up in the ranks, the more special waves are available. Oh boy. Who's it targeting? It's targeting me. Okay. Each griller can only target one person, and they will single-mindedly go after them until they are destroyed or that person is splatted. Best way to deal with a griller is to find a spot with a cliff so that as they climb up after you, you can jump off and then swim back up once they're out of the way. Two grillers, okay. I was shooting, freaking heck! Why couldn't I hit them? Why couldn't I hit them? Dang it. I was trying to revive my idiots, Grizz. Call them my team, but they weren't doing too hot. Let's get a different group of peeps. Ooh, ticket and money. I can't afford anything from your fancy shop yet. I haven't gotten enough special waves. In Salmon Run, what they do, when you first learn it, they make you go through a training course, which is a good plan overall. But you start off, I think the lowest rank is Apprentice. And what you do is, unless you choose to play with friends, you will play only with people who are in your rank. You notice I think I'm an overachiever and I have the number 70 out of 100. How many enemies there are and how many eggs we need to get in each wave are determined by the rank we are and the collective number. So, the idea is, if you are an amazing person with a super high with a super high rank, and you are playing with a baby, it will average out somewhere between you, so that you can carry the baby to victory because you are just that much better than them, aren't you? Hello, Maz. Have a treat. Uh-oh. Getting dark, that means it's a special wave. No! I hope you see a boss and not just salmon eggs. You did. Good job. Freaking small fry. They're tiny, they go down in like half a hit. But that also means that they're hard to hit. Goldie. You've popped the Goldie away from the basket. Why did you do that? Goldies only show up during special waves, and not even all of them. They will leave somewhere between 1 and a dozen eggs. So the idea is you should try to lure them close to the basket before... Live! Live, person! Live! Live! You've got this! If you win, then your rank goes up by 20 points. If you rank up, then you start up at that rank and 40 at that rank. So that's the default. Ow. If you lose in wave 3, then you don't lose any points. If you lose in wave 2, then you lose 10. If there was a DC, you lose half the amount. And if you lose in wave 1, then you lose 20. Freaking fly fish. Lucky is baby and also a turf god. Yeah, it's... Trying to imagine 17-year-old Lucky is somehow a lot easier for me than trying to imagine 19-year-old Lucky. Alright. Money! I've had so many people complain about how they don't get any money from Salmon Run and they're just giving me all the money. Where are they? Steel eel. Steel eel aims at somebody and keeps chasing them until their target is dead, then switches targets. Can only be hurt from the back. fly fish. Annoying as heck, good for teaching you how to throw bombs. There are too many fly fish. Sloshing machine again. Both brush and slosh machine are not weapons I'm great with, but I'm worse with sloshing. Okay, who's the Moz want to eat this time? Me! First target Moz goes after is random, and after that it's always the closest person. They will attack, then change targets. Bark! Freaking small fry. A lot of Salmon Run is figuring out what your weapon is best used for and trying to do it while also working as a team and keeping everything dealt with that way. Dang it, didn't get to shoot off one last one. Slushing, for example, is not really good for rapid fire destroying things at my feet. Neither is Squiffer. Rush is very good at that. Ooh, high tide. Gal is pretty good. How in the world do I always fail to dodge that? No more rain. I said, freaking heck. Wasn't that a good angle to shoot it out of the air? Oh, crud. Somebody wasted their speckle there. Okay. Is it going to stay high tide for this? And I've still got the... I've got the gal. Okay, I've got the fourth weapon. Throwing golden eggs at it does the most damage. Ouch! Don't step on me. Please don't step on me. Please don't step on me. I'm so dead. I'm just trying to get up this thingy. Steel eel? Yeah, that was... If you're going to have nightmares, policy requires that you do it off the clock. Screw you! Ooh! Professional! I am the bottom of professional ranks. Splatoon 2 Professional was the highest rank, and there was only one Professional rank. And I think now there's like 4 of them. I'm not entirely sure what determines if the Kohozuna comes in. Like, you can see a dark shape in the upper right corner that is completely black right now, and it will gradually fill up. But I don't know if it always goes off when one person's is filled, or if the combined team has a certain amount filled, or what. There's a lot of possibilities. Yeah, Mr. Grizz is... I have questioned. Ooh, low tide. Oh, it's going to be tornado. Given my weapon, I should not be on the front lines. Or maybe I will be because no one else is. Look, really only 2 of us have to deal with fighting nincompoops. It should not be me or the Charger. And neither of you are throwing it. Joshua and Laval, I don't care about you two. Meboso, you are good, Squid. Are you Squid? I think you're Squid. You're probably Octo. Dark again. No! Granted, they made this significantly easier than the last game, but... Because now, the gushers that you broke open that are wrong don't spit out salmonids the whole time. Just the right one. And they come up from the water normally. You notice how this one is higher with light coming out? Gushers tend to be closer or further away from other gushers. The higher, if you open up one and it's high, then it is near the correct gusher. If you open up one and it is low, then it's far away from the gusher you want. So you can sort of triangulate where it is. They have a lot of human memorabilia, fossils, artwork, etc. So it doesn't surprise me too much, if only because of teddy bears. Okay. I am best equipped to take care of you right now. Bark. And there is in game 2, when Grizzco is introduced, it is literally in a shady back alley, and you are cautioned against going there because it looks shady. Grizzco is literally defined as a shady back alley business. Get over here. Scrappers target whoever hit them last. They can only really be damaged from behind. So, you want to hit them. Eventually, if you hit them enough, they will stop moving briefly, and then either move around behind them or hit them and turn them so one of your teammates can destroy them from behind while they're focused on you. Oh, that was the final wave. That was fast. You can see how much I love the sea. No, you can't. Okay, I'm kinda tired. I got up at stupid o'clock and I need to do a few more things before I call it a night. So I think I'm going to end the stream here. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. And I'm going to send you over to Lumo. Lumo is an awesome person and they play a whole lot of Salmon Run. I don't know if they're discussing story mode. You can ask them when you get over there. But they are a great person. They're a lot of fun to hang out with. And I hope you have a lot of fun watching them. But right now, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great night. See you tomorrow.